The UFC heavyweight division just got a major shakeup. Jon Jones has officially responded after Alex Pereira publicly called him out, urging the UFC to set up their fight. Pereira made his intentions clear, boldly declaring, "I want Jon Jones," and putting the pressure on the UFC to make it happen. Jones added fuel to the fire by sharing a post about Pereira's challenge, sparking intense speculation about his next move. Is Jones shifting his focus away from Tom Aspinall for a blockbuster clash with Pereira? Or is this just another classic mind game from the GOAT? Either way, the
For me. If you're a person that wants to see me really challenged, then I get it. 7 years younger, like 35 pounds. Why not fight against Pereira, a guy who's the same age as you, and we walk around the same exact size? Business-wise, it makes more sense. Fight I'm gonna call him this, fight the nobody that may be more dangerous, or fight the guy with all the accolades, who's incredibly dangerous.
Imagine a showdown between two of the greatest light heavyweights ever to step into the octagon, an unstoppable force versus an immovable object. That's exactly how MMA fans see a potential clash between Jon Jones and Alex Pereira. Both fighters have been calling on the UFC and Dana White to make the fight happen. It all started when Jones, at the UFC 309 post-fight press conference, hinted at facing Pereira before Tom Aspinall, saying, has now snowballed into serious interest from both sides, with fans, fighters, and even the UFC seemingly wanting this fight to happen.
Falou, eu falei, o Faria falou, mas aí agora só dá para a organização mesmo concordar e fazer acontecer. There is an interest, there is a potential, even John Jones expressed himself, and we wanted to do this, we won, now it's up to the UFC to make it happen.
Defend your belt against Aspinall, who has the interim title?
More than likely not. I feel like Tom Aspinall is, I don't want to say nobody. He just hasn't proven anything. He hasn't done anything. I'm not here to gamble someone else making a name off of me. If there were to be a fight of a guy that's still on our UFC roster, that it would be Alex Pereira. And I think that fight would go much farther on my legacy than a young man who's cool today.
Bom, não sei porque, vou lutar com quem? Igual o Jon Jones falou, que gostaria de lutar comigo, né? Então eu não vejo também uma outra luta. Eu tava assim, tipo, eu vou lutar com qualquer um, eu quero lutar uma luta no peso pesado. Hoje eu já parei um pouquinho, eu falei, pra que eu vou? Tudo é um risco, cara.
A light. It was like a green light that said that I could turn left, but you're supposed to yield for the right of way. And I just assumed it was my green light to go. And I ended up running into a car. It was a really big hit, but I was fine. So I step out of the car and I
But will he, if the Aspinall thing is really flying out there? I personally think John challenges himself and takes the fight.
I'd heard a rumor that John Jones wanted $30 million to fight Tom Aspinall. And I did hear that the UFC said yes, but it is not true. Dana contacted me and said that rumor is bullshit. Apparently, John is thinking about retiring. And he should. He's going to have to someday. He should think about it. Give the man all the time he wants. He can fight whenever he wants to fight. That's John Jones. He's the GOAT. So leave him alone. If he decides one day to come back and he wants to fight Tom Aspinall for the heavyweight title, the question is, like, how long are you allowed to hold on to the title before they start having that conversation? Now, he just knocked out Stipe Miocic, so give the man months. Give the man 5 or 6 months. Just leave him the fuck alone. But at a certain point in time, you have to decide who the heavyweight champion is. And if Tom is the interim heavyweight champion and John decides he doesn't want to fight anymore, he could do that and then come back in a year and fight for the title. He could do whatever he wants. But he might decide, you know what, had an unbelievable career, never lost, except the disqualification loss, and to a rule that has since been reversed. He's the GOAT. He retires, got plenty.
What John says. When you put the resumes next to each other, his resume is far superior to mine. The risk reward for the both of us. His risk is he has everything.
So on the skill differentials, where would you say he has the edge and where do you have the edge?
He's amazing at everything.
Are you better than him at any one discipline?
No, but I'm way younger and way more athletic and way bigger. I possess a power that he's never seen before or even come close to. But like I said, I completely agree with everything that he says in terms of resume. But it's not about John's resume. It's about who's the best in the world right now, and I think it's me.
Which would make you the greatest of all time?
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't.
If you beat the GOAT.
No, it wouldn't.
Aren't you the new GOAT?
No, it'd make me the best heavyweight right now. And that's all I want.
This is the best heavyweight in the world. Just 6 seconds into the fight, Tom Aspinall lands a huge leg kick that hurts Sergey Pavlovich. Aspinall lands another calf kick while staying in range. Pavlovich lands a massive left hook and backs up Aspinall against the cage. But notice what Aspinall does. He feints forward, lifts his jab hand a little bit, and Pavlovich reacts by throwing a left hook. A few seconds later, Tom feints with a jab, and Pavlovich again reacts by throwing a left hook. Now Aspinall knows what he needs to do. Aspinall steps in and feints a jab, and again Pavlovich throws that left hook, but straight punches always beat looping.
He's got an amazing self-confidence. I mean, he just exudes calm, almost chilling self-confidence.
If you're a fighter, you better have that.
Yeah.
That's what you'd have to have. If you want to be one of the all-time greats, that's exactly what you have to have.
I interviewed Tom Aspinall in London.
Another one.
He wants to fight John Jones.
He wants to fight everybody, man.
He thinks he'll beat John Jones.
Yes, he does. I love it. I love that. And a young, aggressive, talented heavyweight that he actually wants to fight all the best. The problem in this business is you have guys that say a lot of things publicly, but behind the curtains don't mean it. You know, don't really want these fights. Tom Aspinall is not that guy. Tom Aspinall wants to fight all the best in the world, and I love that.
How good is he?
Very good. We're going to find out, though. We make this John Jones fight, and obviously a fight like that for a young, talented heavyweight, if he can win, he can beat John Jones, it's life-changing.
He's got an amazing self-confidence. I mean, he just exudes calm, almost chilling self-confidence.
If you're a fighter, you better have that.
Yeah.
That's what you'd have to have. If you want to be one of the all-time greats, that's exactly what you have to have.
I interviewed Tom Aspinall in London. He wants to fight John Jones.
He wants to fight everybody, man.
He thinks he'll beat John Jones.
Yes, he does. I love it. I love that. And a young, aggressive, talented heavyweight that he actually wants to fight all the best. The problem in this business is you have guys that say a lot of things publicly, but behind the curtains don't mean it. Don't really want these fights. Tom Aspinall is not that guy. Tom Aspinall wants to fight all the best in the world, and I love that.
How good is he?
Very good. We're going to find out, though. We make this John Jones fight, and obviously a fight like that for a young, talented heavyweight, if he can win, he can beat John Jones. It's like
we're not going to start fighting at an event, are we? Well, I hope not. It was good. It was all right, mate. I enjoyed it.
That was the first time you met him, wasn't it?
First time I met him. He's nowhere near as big as I thought. I thought he was a lot taller, but I guess when you're fighting light heavyweights for your full career and you're 6'4", you look really tall. But I'm a full-grown heavyweight, aren't I? There's no chance he's as big as me. Nowhere near as big as me. But size doesn't matter, really. We're both massive guys, but I'll take that one. I think I beat him, definitely.
John's gonna come back. He's gonna take the hardest fight of his career, who they say is the greatest heavyweight we've ever had. Ends up getting hurt, can't do the fight. Insert a gentleman, Sergey Pavlich. You then told John Jones that he would not fight Sergey Pavlich. In Sergey's very next fight, he went down to a British gentleman called Tom Aspinall. I mean, as sure as night follows day, Tom Aspinall is the guy. And John's looking around and going, hey, one thing at a time, and I got this thing. And while you guys are trying to pull me over in the Alex Pereira direction and you're pulling him in the Tom direction, I can't let you succeed. After John fights Stipe, guys, he fights Tom Aspinall. Well, what if Stipe beats him? Go ahead and beat him. Stipe is sincerely beautiful shiny belt, and John's standing there talking to Joe Rogan with his nice shiny belt. The fight will be made right there.
John Jones hid under a cage for hours to avoid a drug test. There was a story told by Chael Sonnen that prior to John's first fight against Daniel Cormier in January of 2015, he apparently hid under the cage at the Jackson Wink gym for 6 to 8 hours to avoid the Nevada State Athletic Commission, who were there that day to do drug testing. For years, this story was thought to be a rumor, especially because it was told by Chael. But in 2020, the truth was revealed after Israel Adesanya mentioned the story in a tweet. John responded by confirming that he did hide under the cage because he just smoked a blunt and he was worried that he was going to fail his test for weed. The funny thing is that cannabis is not prohibited in out-of-competition drug testing, but it is prohibited in competition, which is hours before and after fight night. This means John hid under the cage for nothing, unless he was hiding something else.
Have the best chance of anybody to beat John right now. But that being said, I still think John wins the fight just because of his wrestling. I think he puts, Tom on his back and is able to nullify his jiu-jitsu from being top position with his elbows and control. What does John win to take that fight? He goes out there and beats Tom. Is it really going to make or break his career? I don't think anybody cares.
Other than that, John Jones behind the scene is not a guy that turns down fights.
Would you guarantee 100% we see that fight?
Yeah, I'll say 100%.
You're the former baddest man on the planet. Would you consider that to be Francis right now, or would you consider that to be John Jones right now?
I mean, I would go Francis just because, he's doing great. With his boxing, I would go Francis.
Nothing you can do to stop me from coming at you round after round with the most malicious techniques I know. You will lose this fight, Daniel Cormier. I want you to believe it. Every ounce of training you put in leading up to this fight will be a waste of your life.
I know what to do. Then come back for you.
Jones, you've been inside the octagon with Francis Ngannou. If we ever got that fantasy matchup, who do you think would win? Who was more powerful inside the cage?
Well, Francis, yeah, he's got great power. He's getting better every fight. With Jones, he's one of the best of all time, if not the best of all time. He's just smart, real tricky. But with Francis, he comes with a game plan, but also he's got thunder in his fist. So that's a tough fight. I think John would keep his distance. He'd do well, get him down to the ground. But if Francis connects, all over.
Well, you're the former baddest man on the planet. Would you consider that to be Francis right now, or would you consider that to be John Jones right now?
I mean, I would go Francis just because, he's doing great. With his boxing, I would go Francis.
Man, who was more powerful inside the cage?
Well, Francis, yeah, he's got great power. He's getting better every fight. With Jones, he's as good as one of the best of all time, if not the best of all time. He's just smart, real tricky. But with Francis, he always comes with a game plan, but also he's got thunder in his fist. So that's a tough fight. I think John would keep his distance. He'd do well, get him down to the ground. But
he was quite special because he stopped me. He did what Tyson Fury couldn't done, And he wasn't my day, and he's just way better than me.
That daddy decided to prepare for you, so you can come back. Tell your daddy to release you.
When Jones caught wind of Miosic's comments, he took to Instagram and posted a simple but powerful response. Of course.
Francis Ngannou reacts to John Jones beating Stipe Miocic. Francis Ngannou was impressed by John Jones finishing Stipe Miocic at UFC 309. Ngannou tweeted, "Jones looked great out there tonight. Congrats, Johnny boy. I see you."
Watch the video of him and Cormier, and they don't know that they're live being filmed.
Oh my God.
And Cormier says, I had to come over there and spit in your fucking face right now.
I wish they would let me next door so I can spit in your face.
And John Jones says, I would fucking kill
You know I would absolutely kill you if you ever did something like that,
You
right?
could never kill me.
I'm not saying it. I would fucking kill you.
I would literally kill you if you spit in my face.
Yeah, let's try that, John.
John Jones has like German Shepherd dogs that do all the attack shit, shoots guns. John Jones has a very